Hey folks, good morning. How's it going? Just finished planting a couple beds of carrots for the fall garden, and it's looking really nice. We got some raised beds here, interseeded with wood chips, and then here in a couple months we're gonna put chickens on this for about 3 months, and they're gonna finish eating all the weed seeds and till all of the wood chips in with the compost and get ready for next year's garden. And we're gonna use them to do all the fertilizing because their poop is the densest source of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, boron, it's a full spectrum natural fertilizer. What I wanted to talk about this morning was why all eggs are not created equal. And the reason why we choose to have all our animals outside, our chickens, our pigs, our cows, nothing stays inside under a roof, in a pen, in a crate. Everything moves. Why we choose to do it that way. And science actually backs up why we choose to do that. And here's kind of where this goes. It's quite in depth. So about 12 years ago, the government subsidized a pretty large project in the science community to decode the whole human genome. And they did it with the notion that we were going to have 100,000 genes. That was their hypothesis. And it was the first project the government ever finished early and under budget. And the reason why they finished it early is because humans only have 20,000 genes. And oddly enough, it really sent the science community with a curveball because we thought that one gene only had one function. But it turns out that genes in their spatial relationship with each other, how they react to the environment, whether it's an animal or a human or a plant, that determines which genes are turned on and turned off. Well, we also learned that only 2% of our DNA produces proteins. So we wondered what the other 98% does, and at first the science community called it junk DNA. Well, later we learned that part is probably the most important part. It's actually called microRNA, which is very unique in that it can travel through the cell wall, it can travel through the blood-brain barrier. It is information. It is all information about our environment. My breath has microRNA. When you are in a room around toxic people in a toxic environment, your body is reading those barcodes. And that is changing what genes are turned on and turned off. When you get that gut feeling about something, you know how we call it gut feeling? All that is your body decoding RNA, and it's reacting with the quorum sensing of the bacteria in your gut, producing that reaction that may put you into a parasympathetic fight or flight state. So how does that relate to animal production or vegetable production or fruit production? The spacing at which the vegetables are produced, that they have the ability to get whatever roots they need to. The animals, if they are locked in a cage, they are not in sunlight, they turn on the genes for stress. They are living life in a parasympathetic state. If it's a pig that lives life in a 2-foot by 6-foot crate, and it can't turn around, it can't root in the dirt, it can't do any of that stuff that pigs were designed to do, primal instincts, it starts to turn on the genes for stress. And when the consumer consumes the food that is in a stress state, we read that barcodes and we turn on those genes. I mean, it's no secret. That's not an opinion of science. That's the real stuff, and it's out. We know that now. The research is about 2 years old. And the rest of the food community is slowly realizing that. That's why people are switching from their desk jobs in town. People are moving and they're starting to produce food in a primal way again. And it's changing the way food is produced on a mass scale, and it's going back to small production where the integrity of how the animal, the nature in which it was produced, how it is handled every day, that matters sometimes more than the feed it's given, that information. So information is all around us. If you are in a toxic relationship or in an environment, your body is reading that information. If you are eating food that was raised in a toxic environment, like an egg, your body's reading that information. So the next time you flip an egg into the frying pan and it's kind of a pale yellow and it just kind of, the yolk just kind of settles out, or you flip a pastured primal egg into the frying pan and it's dark, deep, rich yellow, and it sits up like the bicep on top of your arm. If you have really, good strong biceps, that's what it's all about. That's why we do this. So for more information on this, I know you don't want to take a farmer's word for it, because I haven't either. I've done my own research. Probably the best one that talks about this is Dr. Zach Bush on YouTube, and there's a great interview between he and Rich Roll. Dr. Zach Bush and Rich Roll. There's 2 great interviews by him. You can kind of do your own thing and formulate your own opinion about it, but this is why all eggs are not created equal, folks. Hope you guys have a great Monday, and we got a cool update coming up tonight, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.